Hello, my name is Navigator, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the G.I. Joe Classified number 173 Sergeant Slaughter and Felix Mercer Stratton, right? Yeah, Stratton, just down there. This is a two-pack that I've been eyeing for a while. I grabbed it on Amazon, and I don't know, I just like the whole idea of Sergeant Slaughter. Obviously, you guys know me. I'm a big wrestling fan, big Sergeant Slaughter fan. I've actually met him and done a review of my experience meeting him here on the channel. It's in one of my Nickel City Con, review videos, but it also comes with Felix Stratton, who are otherwise known as Mercer, and he's kind of this like defective Cobra agent, or I guess he was a Viper, if I'm kind of quoting my lore correctly. But I love that idea of kind of like a defected Cobra guy. But these two guys not only are awesome figures, nearly quintessential to have in a GI Joe collection, but they also come with a ton of awesome accessories. So with that being said, let's get into it. On the back here's just a little action shot of the two of them. The slaughterhouse seems to kind of being invaded by the Cobra or something like that. But here's a look at the front as well. We do have that, and that looks very nice. And then we'll start off with all the accessories with the Sergeant Slaughter. He has the most. I guess we'll review the figures first and then get to all the accessories. That might make more sense just in this case. But starting at the bottom here, he does have those typical kind of brown combat boots, nothing too crazy going on. They look very clean though, with the little wings on there. He's kind of got that like desert storm, almost like desert camouflage on the legs there. Of course, double jointed knees as always with the classified. He has a holster there for the large Bowie knife that he comes with, along with a holster for his large revolver that he comes with. Tool belt here with some ammo pouches and 3 frag grenades on the back. I'm not really a huge fan of those. They just look kind of like molded together. I wish maybe they just kept like one on there. I think that would have been a better deal. But moving up to the torso here, has kind of like the ripped off shirt there, I guess you could say, and a little bandolier across the chest. Those massive pythons. He's got a little, what is that? Kind of like a brownish watch. Or I guess that's the watch. This is more just like a little armband. I have no idea what it is, but he's got 2 wristbands there, one trigger hand and a fist as well. And then the head sculpt here, Robert Remus, Sergeant Slaughter. I think they did a great job. And this is the one that has the whistle to go with, and that wraps around his neck. A very nice effect there. And now we can honestly do with Sergeant Slaughter's, we can almost build him. So let me show off the other head sculpt, kind of just a grimaced one, very similar to the other one, except for no whistle in the mouth, but we do have that. And then actually, I'll just keep using this one. We can just assemble him. He's got a bunch of different accessories here, of course. Those kind of trademark sunglasses, the aviator sunglasses that Sergeant Slaughter has. I think you guys get a good picture of that. We have this red beret here, which is very cool. I believe this is for him. I mean, I don't really know why it wouldn't be. Yeah, and it fits on there okay. So there we go. Nice little red beret for Sergeant Slaughter there. And that is not too terrible. Let's see if we can bring it in a little bit more. Oh, come on. You were just working so nice before. Why are you going to do this to me? All right, well, you guys get the picture. It's a red beret. Whatever. The next one we have here is going to be kind of like a gung-ho type hat with like that or the Marines. Oh, it's not Marines. It's kind of like a broken skull logo on there, but just like a military cap in a sense. And yes, I know that his sunglasses are drooping there a little bit. We'll take those off. And then finally, another trademark, that kind of drill instructor type hat for Sergeant Slaughter, and that fits on there very nicely. Let's see if we can get a good focus on there. Beautiful. What is it? The sergeant rank there at the top. Come on, why just focus for a half a second there? There we go. Beautiful. Sorry, you guys know me. I always have trouble with my camera. All right, so we'll leave that there. The other accessories that he does come with, he does have some extra fisted hands right here. Or again, a fisted hand and a trigger hand. Sorry, I was not looking closely enough. And then kind of an order hand, I guess you could say, like, go that way, or maybe he's slapping somebody. Who knows, but we do have that as well. And then on to the weapons. So the final trademark really that we have here is going to be that kind of drill instructor baton. A very cool looking accessory. Some nice detail on there. He also has that large Bowie knife that I was talking about right there. And that is very cool. That large revolver as well with a pearl grip. This is really cool. One of my favorite accessories that he comes with. This kind of like tactical M4 with like a grenade launcher. And of course you can remove the ammo magazine there if you need to. And there's a little port on the end if you want to plug some stuff in. This is a really cool one. Almost like a grenade launcher shotgun. That is just wild. Definitely one of the cooler accessories that I've seen, or weapon accessories, I should say, from G.I. Joe Classified. And then finally here, and this actually came with a separate silencer you can pour it in there. At least I think it's for this, but it's going to be a Vector, one of the cooler weapons we've seen with G.I. Joe Classified. Has the foregrip there, detachable magazine. The Vector, of course, is a famous submachine gun. What is it, like an ACOG and a reflex sight and a laser on there? Pretty cool. He's definitely got his choice of the armaments when it comes to the G.I. Joe ranks, but there you go with Sergeant Slaughter. So we can move on now to Mr. Mercer over here. And starting at the bottom, black, almost like motorcycle boots because they come up to the, half of the shin there. He has what is that? Yeah, it's the knife sheath on the leg there with a little bit of red elements. These really cool kind of like tactical blue and silver pants with black knee pads, and there's some pouches on the side, pockets on the back. A very cool little belt here with like a little, almost a dual belt. He's got a bandolier on one side, some ammo pouches, and that wraps around to the back. Probably the coolest part about Mercer is his vest. He's got this bright red vest with that no Cobra sign on there. That's kind of his iconic little thing on there. And then the holster on the chest for his sidearm. On the hands, he does have fingerless gloves. On this one, he's got some kind of red knuckle duster elements almost. And that's the same on the right hand as well. He's got a little bracer on his right arm. I guess a little watch, or again, one of those little telecommunicator devices. And then he has this little kind of like silver and black armband there as well. And then a look at the back, a little peg if you want it to. And there you go. Here's a look at the head sculpt as well. Not a massive fan of the head sculpt, mainly because of the haircut. I think the haircut is a little corny, but they had to make him look as much like his, 3 3/4 inch era figure as they could. So there you go. Get some light in there. And he has some nice accessories as well. Starting off with, we do have the other head sculpt that I'll probably be displaying him with, just more of a neutral look. I think it looks a little bit better. The teeth just make him look more like a villain, I think. He also has this nice little tactical backpack here, all black, and that will port right into the little peg in the back. Or the peg will port into the port in the back. I don't know. I'm mixing my words here. A very cool kind of bullpup submachine gun here, which is really cool. Foregrip there. And the magazine is detachable, as always. This is another really cool weapon as well. I'm not sure what it really is. I don't even know how you would... I forget the name of weapons like this, but like the top fed, where you're almost like feeding something into the top here, and that's where the ammunition is stored. I think that's what this kind of weapon is. If not, it's probably just some G.I. Joe laser weapon, but this is really cool. I do like this weapon a lot. I'm probably not going to display him with either of those. I think that bullpup weapons look not great. I don't know. I'm not really a huge fan of the way they look, so I try not to display any figures, even in video games. I don't really use bullpup weapons. I don't know. The aesthetic just not for me. But we have 2 fisted hands as well. So there you go, in the same skin tone. And then the last 3 accessories here, we have some tactical glasses for him. You gotta use some eye protection. A really cool kind of Beretta-styled pistol. And that came with a detachable silencer as well, so you can do some James Bond stuff if he needs to. And then finally here, just a little tactical blade with a slight serrated edge there. So very cool. All right, folks, that is going to be a review of the G.I. Joe number 173, Sergeant Slaughter, and Felix Mercer Stratton. I got a bunch of other reviews for G.I. Joe Classified coming later this week, including some era G.I. Joe. When I say era, I mean A-R-A-H, like a real American hero. I've got a couple of those figures that I grabbed this weekend. This one is a little preemptive. I have a big kind of like weekend toy hunt haul that I'm going to go over, but I wanted to mess around with these tonight before I got to start my week tomorrow. So I wanted to get this one out of the way. But yeah, so I'll leave it there. I'll talk more about my exploits this weekend in tomorrow's video, my toy hunt haul, and I will leave it there. As always, folks, my name is Navigator. Have a nice day. Take care.